At a hospital in Gaza, Palestinians mourn their dead. Funerals were held for a pregnant woman and her 14-month-old niece, both killed on Saturday. The girl's father blames Israel.
The children were playing, and they were struck by a missile shot from an Israeli drone.
An Israeli spokesman denied that the defense forces, the IDF, were involved and said the Palestinians themselves were responsible.
The unfortunate death of that woman and a baby were not a result of IDF activity, rather a result of the use of weapons by terrorist organizations in that area, in the southern Gaza Strip.
Israel says it's targeting what it calls terror elements in the Gaza Strip, pinpointing farm buildings, cars, and high-rise buildings in Gaza City. The Israeli government insists the strikes are in response to Hamas and Islamic Jihad firing more than 600 rockets across the border into southern Israel this weekend. Many were intercepted while still airborne, but some landed in residential areas, destroying homes, injuring and killing civilians. Hastily declared in the early hours of the morning, the latest ceasefire has averted an all-out war. But with tensions high, it won't take much for the violence to flare up again.
Let's bring in correspondent Tanya Kramer, who has the latest from Jerusalem. So, Tanya, we've heard that this ceasefire has been in effect for a few hours now. How is it holding up so far?
Well, it appears to be holding. Since the early morning hours, there have been no rockets being fired into southern Israel from Gaza, and also there have been no more Israeli airstrikes on Gaza. Palestinian media have reported that as of 4:30 a.m., the ceasefire has gone into effect, a ceasefire that has been brokered this time again and mediated by Egypt with the help of Qatar and the United Nations.
And Tanya, we know that one of the main sticking points, one of the things that really sparked this most recent conflict was the Palestinian officials in Gaza were saying that Israel was not taking steps to ease its blockade under promised ceasefire deals of the past. How likely is it that now we will see some steps to resolve this?
Well, it's all about the implementation. As you said, Hamas and Islamic Jihad, another militant group in Gaza, they have accused Israel of failing to implement understandings that had been reached during the last time there was an escalation. It was in late March, and also at earlier times. We've seen many of those escalations flaring up over the past year. And we understand that this time also the ceasefire or calm is based on those understandings that have included previously the lifting of some of the restrictions on Gaza, like expanding the fishing zone, getting in aid money from Qatar, the flow of more electricity into Gaza. Now, it's really all about this implementation, but it also shows that without a longer-term plan or solution, political solution for the Gaza Strip, which has been under a blockade and has been under closure for over 10 years now, it's going to be highly likely that we see possibly other times of escalation.
Tanya, given the tenuous situation there right now, what is the mood?
Well, I think people on both sides are waiting to see, actually to know a bit more about the understandings being reached. I think in Gaza there's a sense of relief. It's also the first day of Ramadan today. It has been very exhausting weekend there, and people really would like to see that some of those restrictions being lifted now in the south of Israel as well. So many barrages of rockets have been launched against communities there. People have been confined mainly to their houses, to their safe rooms, but they also would probably like to see what is the result of all of this. Is it just a period of calm and waiting for another escalation, or will there be some real solution at the end?
Tanya Kramer in Jerusalem. Thank you, Tanya.